Full disclosure, I'm Robin Farzad, and we are live with Nightingale ice cream sandwiches. Live from the UR's Robin School of Business, the mashup crazy dessert seemingly everyone on the East Coast is talking about. The husband-wife chef team behind this RVA bread phenomenon traversed pretty unusual roads to get here, including marine mess halls, Belgian recipes linked back to King Leopold himself.
Yeah, my grandfather.
And even the town's best burger. You're going to want to stick around for this story. Do stay with us. This special live show is made possible by the support of Reservoir Distillery, from grain to glass, making handcrafted bourbon and whiskey in Richmond, Virginia since 2008. Reservoir Distillery, never sourced. More at reservoirdistillery.com. By Evo Advisors, offering financial advice that is globally experienced and locally based for those who have more than a 401k to manage. Visit goevoadvisors.com. That's goevoadvisors.com. By ACG, family-owned providers of wealth accumulation and tax reduction strategies for business owners and individuals in Richmond for over 30 years. More at acgworldwide.com. And by Dominion Payroll, offering payroll, HR, timekeeping, and pre-employment solutions to meet all of your business needs. Please visit dominionpayroll.com. And last but not least, the Robin School of Business, a fully accredited, highly ranked undergraduate business school that is also part of a highly ranked liberal arts university. With a full MBA program and executive education offerings, the Robin School offers hands-on opportunities for both undergrads and working professionals. Learn more at robins.richmond.edu. Joining me on stage at the University of Richmond's, wait for it, Robin School of Business, is the couple behind Nightingale ice cream sandwiches, the dessert seemingly everyone on the East Coast is talking about. Hannah Pollock and Xavier Mears, the husband-wife culinary team that's been slinging these thick sandwiches for 3.5 years. Welcome.
Thank you.
All right, another dad joke-laden anecdote. I met this wonderful couple at a live show that I did in October called Ace the Midterms, which we had 2 chefs come and do, and we had the correspondents visit from NBC and CBS and ABC. And I thought the chefs, I just gave them agency to bring their own dessert. And so they ordered 250 ice cream sandwiches. And next thing I see is people leaving the dining room and being regaled by this couple, and he's cutting things off and drizzling them with bourbon glaze and nonpareils and everything. And I'm thinking that they're employees of this massive conglomerate, Nightingale. And I go up to Xavier, I was like, this is amazing. You know, I've been trying to look for the Fat Elvis sandwich. Do you know about the Fat Elvis sandwich? Like, there would not be a Fat Elvis without me.
I'm the Fat Elvis. I mean, we used to call him the Fat Elvis, but...
The upshot is that they were stealing like Christmas gigs. Clients were hiring them left and right. It was so busy, and I met this charismatic couple, and I said, we have to have a dedicated show on them. So, and here it is. I want to know when you guys met. Take me back to your original Richmond story.
You want to start?
Well, we met 10 years ago. So Xavier came over from Belgium 10 years ago to open Bellevue, which is his first restaurant. And 10 years ago, I was still in culinary school, and I went to his restaurant, and I was making the salads and desserts. I was 22, and I just worked with him, and I worked my way up to be his sous chef, and we worked together for 5 years. And we had just the best time working together and cooking together, and that's how we first met.
So, fast forward to Cafe Bruxelles, which was when I next heard about Xavier. If I remember, I go back and look at the clips in 2015 and 2016. There was this burger that everybody talked about east of the museum district, and then it was no longer. What happened?
Yeah, I was a little sad because I came from Belgium and tried to cook a lot of fancy food, and everybody talked about this burger. So when I opened Brussels Cafe, I cook mussels and burger, because that's what everybody wants here. And I was super happy. I'm on the stand after, and then all my fancy little food don't make any sense. They just want a good meat, good burgers, and I make this burger with all the shit that I have from like ribeye or filet mignon.
So like when you trim the filet and ribeye, you have a lot of leftover meat. And so we would grind that
that make the best meat in the world.
So you got little bits of filet and little bits of ribeye in the burger. Plus, we would add ground beef into it, and a
lot of truffle.
Yeah.
That's why we want the best burger in Richmond. Yeah.
So you would think this would continue. It was getting great buzz. What about we've talked about it before, the economics of the restaurant business. That location in the kind of the nether region of Main Street was kind of cursed in the past. Was there Peacock Cafe, these other places? It's kind of like the Willow Lawn of that area.
It's a great neighborhood. No. I have a lot of fun. In that place, we have a lot of fun. I mean, I have, because she quit my place for be her own chef.
At Bellevue, I left because I wanted to be a chef on my own, and I wanted to just strike out on my own, and so I left, and I just left to be a chef on my own. So Bruxelles Cafe was just him.
You didn't give him an ultimatum at Bellevue and say, make me...
Well, there was no place I could go. No. It was either chef or quit.
Did you beg her to stay?
No way. And she quit. So no, it was fun.
Would you quit on amicable terms?
Oh, I mean, we were together. We got married.
I kick her out.
Yeah, that's not true. That's not true. I left.
And you went to Greenleaf Pool Room?
Well, I was at a restaurant in Chester called Divine. And it was a European restaurant, and then I left because I wanted to come to the city where it was all happening.
Stole all my recipes?
Again, not true. I took some recipes, but I made them better. It was better.
So, if I may ask, when did you become an item, as it was, an item?
I'm glad I don't understand English. What?
It has a certain je ne sais quoi. I don't have the word for it, but anyway.
When did we start being together?
No comprende.
Yeah. It's a little scandal.
I think it's right after Bellevue when she tried going on your own, and we started dating, and we have a lot of things in common, and sharing a lot of time.
You wanted to make sure I stayed.
That if we can, still private.
Okay. All right, fine. I won't go there. You're Belgian. I didn't think this was like church and state stuff. But anyway.
European.
European, yes. So this ice cream sandwich, I understand you lost the lease, or it came up, it was due on Bruxelles Cafe, and you were kind of at a fork in the road. Do I want to do this? Do I want to take on the...
Oh, no. For be honest, Anna, every time then she come home for new special, she's always ask me for my advice. And she came that night with a cookie. It was a brownies cookies with vanilla ice cream on top. And she asked my opinion and said, do you think I should sell that on special for this weekend? And I'm like, oh my God, this is the best ice cream I never had for a long time. Plus that little thing of cookies was really good. But
what was special? What was unique about that?
Well, I think it's because it was all by hand. Every cookie.
Homemade.
For the first year, I made every cookie that we ever did. And so every cookie, we would make the doughs in a little tiny KitchenAid in the back of Greenleaf's, where I was the chef. I would roll out every single cookie, and it was all by hand, and it was all locally sourced, just like what we do now.
So Greenleaf's was selling these?
Yes, as a dessert, yeah.
And so it became almost like a side spin-off business out of
Exactly,
that.
yes.
Were people asking for this by demand, like if you'd run out?
Exactly,
So I made it as a dessert option on the menu, and I took it to Xavier, and he was like, let's try to sell this. Let's just see what we can do with it. And so we got the packaging. We just got the labels for it, and he went to Chiaka's, which was our first customer ever.
I do some great writing there. It's a great sandwich in the museum district. Yes.
It was a great time because he's looking for a new dessert. It's a sandwich spot. He do everything, from scratch over there, really small stuff. And I'm like, dude, if you want something, let's create a sandwich together. And
so what was it? Just the first sandwich was just the plain vanilla?
Well, the first sandwich at Greenleaf's was the classic, which was a chocolate brownie cookie and then a vanilla ice cream. And then the one that we made for Chiaka's was peanut butter cup, which is a peanut butter ice cream chocolate cookie and it was half dipped in chocolate. And that was a special flavor for Chiacas.
May I ask you, kind of that, Chase, was it at that point when you were using the Cuisinart and everything, even a profitable use of your time? Or are you just kind of building it out to build buzz? I mean, we have restaurant entrepreneurs who talk about doing the pop-up as a loss leader just to build interest and buzz and get the word out. And then at some point you're at critical mass, you engage a commercial kitchen. Were you doing this as a hobby when you were collecting a paycheck?
At first, yeah, for sure. I mean,
we don't collect any paycheck.
At first, I mean, we did this in between our other jobs. Like I would come in at like 2 or 3 in the morning, make the ice cream, make the cookies, make the sandwiches, do my chef job. He would deliver in between his lunch and dinner shifts at Bruxelles Cafe.
It was a great time. We missed that time. We missed that time so much.
No sleep at all.
Hold up. How do you account for this? So you keep it kind of in a bucket as a hobby because you have 2 paying jobs. You have employees. You have people you're dealing with. Do you just say, I'm going to test this out, and if it starts pulling me more, at some point I'm at a fork in the road where I decide to maybe leave my job? It's kind of the entrepreneur's dilemma.
Well, I think we just...
We never think about that, right?
We just always did it as it came. And so we were passionate about it. We started to sell it. And as it started to grow, we realized that there was a choice. You know, we could try and do both and keep it small, or we could take that leap, quit our jobs, and do this full time and just take it where it could go. And that's what we did when it got to that point.
It was the right time.
So seize on this moment. We do this a lot, and it gets into the nitty-gritty. A lot of times people in the food service industry don't want to talk about financials and the economics. Were you cash rich? Did you have savings on the side to kind of bootstrap this? What was that conversation like where, like, you know, honey, the Belgian love of my life, if we're going to take a flyer on this, we're going to have to get a small business loan. Walk me into that. You can't just decide, okay, if I want to ramp this up, where does that money come from?
Well,
I tell her to sell your car first. You sell your car because we need some cookies made. So she sell her car, don't mind.
We just did it ourselves. I mean, everything that we had, we put into it. So our paychecks from our jobs, we put it into it.
What is really exciting with what we have, we start with nothing. We create 20 ice cream sandwiches for Chiacos. When he gave me my check, I said, hey, Hannah, I have $120. So we're going to make 200 ice cream sandwiches. And we just start like that, really. We really start like that 3 years ago.
So how does that capital formation work? Is that just like the thrill of if my kids sell lemonade and, you know, they have a $5 bill at the end of the day? You get to do something you like. Was there a spark that said, we could scale this, it could become a serious business, I can leave my job?
It take a little while.
Walk me through it.
2 months. Because we love challenge. No, seriously, when I mean, I was out of the lease at Bruxelles Cafe, so I would love to continue that business because it was fun. But on the side of that, a chef looking for something different, I was really excited to do something on the side. So when Anna bring me that ice cream sandwich at home and like, wait a minute, we cannot keep that for us, let's sell some. And I give all my time and energy to sell it, produce and sell it. So it works.
Hannah, did you guys have friends over and try to do like a skunk works thing in the kitchen where, here, try this out, is this crazy? What if I infuse it with ginger or something else? How does this work?
Well, I think
we don't have a lot of friends.
What we do, it's just us, and that's why I think why we do well is because the two of us together, we've always worked so well together. And I ask his opinion, and he gives it, and we come up with different things, and I think that's why we've come up with all these flavors that people love, is because just us together, I feel like we're the best team. Full disclosure, I'm Robin Farzad. We are at the University of Richmond's Robin School of Business talking with the lovely couple behind Nightingale's hit ice cream sandwiches, Hannah and Xavier. Hannah Pollack and Xavier Mears. Hannah, take me back to your experience. Now, the Marine Barracks, the mess hall. So we started this story about you at 22 years old, sous chefing. But what was your culinary coming of age in the military? Well, I when I was 17, I joined the Marines because I didn't want to go to college at the time, and my older brother, he was a machine gunner in the Marines, and I always looked up to him. He was just my biggest hero, and I joined the Marines when I was 17. And I had a great experience in the military. I always just, I really enjoyed my time, and I think it's a great start for any young person that needs some direction. But when I got out of the Marines, I went to nursing school because I wasn't sure what to do. I knew it was a good career. And then I got to a point and I was like, I don't love this. It's not something that I'm really passionate about. And I've always been passionate about cooking. And so I switched to culinary school. And that's where I really just fell in love with anything that to do with cooking, being in a kitchen, being a chef. And that was really just where I think I found my calling.
Did you have to take on debt to go to culinary school? Was a risk reward?
Yes, we cover it right now.
I did. I went to J. Sarge for culinary school. There is, of course, always debt to go to school. So it's almost done now.
Almost.
Almost.
Now, Xavier, on your journey, I want to take it back to King Leopold. I understand your grandpa was King Leopold's personal chef, even on the battlefield.
Yeah, he cooked. No, really, truly. My grandfather used to have a restaurant in Brussels. He was the chef for the King Leopold. And at the Second World War, King Leopold had to leave for England, and they sent my grandfather to the battlefield. Yep, that was I think I picked to be a chef just because, or for my grandfather. He impressed me all my life. First, we make the most beautiful job in the world. That's mean play with food, make people happy. And I learned so much from him. So, yep. That was something wonderful.
What brought you to Richmond?
So I traveled all my life. So one person asked me one day to come in Richmond and open a Belgian bistro. We used to based on Midlothian at Versal Plaza called Bellevue, and I jumped on it. He asked me to come, and I fell in love of Richmond. Nobody talks about Richmond in Europe. It's always like New York, Washington, Los Angeles, Las Vegas, and I never came on vacation in Richmond, and I stayed for like 2 months, and this is it. I love this place, and especially
What's slinging mussels for people in Midlothian?
What?
Cooking mussels for people in Midlothian.
I do that for 5 years.
Wow.
Yep, and people love it. Love it. The rent was a little too expensive, so we have to go out.
Okay, so take me to the initial outlet. So there's a morning when you guys woke up. It was a Monday morning, maybe after you took a vacation, kind of a bumper mental health clearance thing where you're like, okay, we're doing this. Did you then engage a commercial kitchen?
It was a Friday.
What did you do?
So,
Hannah, walk me through it.
So I think when we decided to take the step, I think especially when I quit my job, we, of course, couldn't work out of the tiny space where I was the chef. It was just too small, even for the kitchen there. So we looked for a bigger space. And at the time, Billy Fallon, who is the owner of Billy Bread, was a good friend of Xavier. And he said that he had a space that thought could work for us. And so we went to look at it, and it was actually in the back of the Westbury Pharmacy. So it was it used to be like a grocery.
That was the kosher market in the back of the Westbury Pharmacy?
Yes. And so that's where we
Joey's Market.
I don't know what it was called.
Yeah, I would go there and buy Passover wine. I think some people know this.
You know.
The Lebanese family always had like an implicit compact. It's great with the Jewish community going back decades to provide a Passover market. And irony of ironies, it ends up like reincarnated as a Belgian ice cream sandwich place. Only in Richmond. But yes, go ahead.
So that's where we moved, and it was a huge step for us. The rent Now it doesn't seem as much, but we were like, oh God, how are we going to do it?
What was that first run? What was that first production run? How
Well-
many would you have to do to cover the rent?
That's funny.
So when we started at Greenleaf's, a big week for us was 100 sandwiches a week.
Phew.
And
And we are exhausted after that.
stressful.
I mean, no. Between the service. So
Yeah.
don't forget one thing. It was in the middle of the night sometimes.
I would get up at like 2 or 3 in the morning and go into Greenleaf's and make ice cream and sandwiches. And it was just
We start with the sorbetière.
the 2-quart
You know, the
mixer,
2-quart? I can
tabletop,
hear the sound
like what you can get
sometimes.
at Sur La Table. Like-
something like that. It was
Like for like 12 hours a day, we would churn 2-quart batches
Awful.
to get that, and it was just
So
constantly.
to gross $500 in a week? I mean, was this the idea? You were still provisioning mostly chiacas? Were there other restaurants that were suddenly asking for you?
What is great about this town, soon then we start the business, a lot of people came after us and said, a lot of friends actually, and said, I want your produce. This is really good. I want to have that tomorrow. So just an example, Elwood Thompson when we start, or Shields Market, or Union Market. Guys, this is really good. Can I have 20 tomorrow? All night long, you know, all night long again. Yes, you're gonna have 20 tomorrow. And we start like that. But these people support us since day one. Really. Yeah.
I want you to talk about Richmond in that, because you have the news today, it was in Style Weekly, of this special batch you're releasing, this Manhattan macerated cherry thing with Reservoir Distillery. And believe me, they are drinking Reservoir
No.
bourbon here.
No.
Anyway,
I wish.
perfectly cogent. We have done so many mashups before. Charm School, I believe Stella's had you do a baklava one.
Baklava.
I met a pregnant woman who said you made a special batch for her daughter's delivery.
Oh, yeah.
She runs the bean garden or something. I think she was my son's teacher. Like, I hear about all these crazy stories. Amanda, yeah.
Hummingbird Garden.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We did a lavender Earl Grey with her lavender that she grows.
So how do you even scale stuff like that? You just go and like, honey, pick me up some lavender Earl Grey tea, and I'll throw it into the.
Exactly.
No, I want to. I know it seems a little boring and everything, but tell me how you go away from like the hobby part of it to actually scaling a business. So 100 to 500 must have seemed very terrifying to you.
I think, yeah, in the beginning, for sure it was, because
You press these by hand.
It was just us.
You
It was
press
just
these
me.
by
It was
hand. You
just
press
in our
these by hand,
kitchen
and you wrap these by hand.
Yeah. And so it was,
I mean, not me anymore. I'm glad.
he's the charm, the face. Yeah.
How many employees did you have when you went to Westbury Pharmacy?
I was just us.
0.
2.
So, okay,
Yeah.
next step is, when did you have to say, honey, we need to hire people?
We
need
got
extra
one
hand."
employee. It was the first summer that we moved in there. It was November, and our first employee we hired the next March was one employee, and we were just like, oh,
What
We
would you
celebrate.
all this stuff.
What would you say your output was at that moment?
Let's see if we did it by case. I don't know.
Just said by ice cream.
By ice cream, maybe 500. Yeah, 500 sandwiches
Across
a week.
3 employees, you
Yes.
and her.
Yeah.
Now,
And
where are
we-
you now?
We have 9 employees, and we do 15 to 18,000 a week.
And the employees is right there in the back.
Yes,
Oh,
we have
guys.
3 of our employees
Right there.
here. Yeah.
Great people.
Let me ask you, Xavier, on the demand side stuff, actually working with other people, like if I take the Reservoir example, you guys, I remember in one competition like Best of Richmond, you were in competition for something, but you're allies tonight, and we heard that before. We had Brittany Anderson of the show. I mean, even competitors in this town seem to be very magnanimous competitors. They kind of want to up the RVA dine game in general. You've engaged so many different breweries here. You've worked with Blue Bee Cider, you've done stuff with Belle Isle, you've done stuff with Reservoir, with various restaurants. I mean, the people who introduced me to you it's like the Eat Restaurant group, Chris Sway and Chris Staples. And they love you in all of their restaurants. They seem to kind of push this out. You seem to be willing to engage above and beyond the kind of the raw material, the product, the deliverable? Like when you came and did my live show, a big part of it was your boisterous attitude, like, oh, try this, and I will put a nonpareil on it and everything. I mean, you know, a side of Xavier.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me
Sounds
about
like
that.
Me.
Talk to me about that.
When I came, so 10 years ago, I met Chris Sway. He was my neighbor from
Chris
my
Sway
restaurant.
owns Osaka, Wild Ginger,
Yeah.
Eat Restaurant, Fatty Smokes. I mean, they now have like 15 locations.
Yeah,
And they serve your product.
We met each other, and we are all friends. Like working with Jay and Dave from Reservoir, working with Ardent, working with Hollywood, all these people here in this town is so passionate about what they do. Then it's kind of an inspiration for us. It's so awesome to bring the produce that this guy made and made something good, like an ice cream. We talk about it. Trust me, 10 years ago, when I came to United States and I'm going to be an owner or part of a business of an ice cream sandwich company, my dad still don't believe what we're talking about. So, you know, I'm so happy and proud to work with all these people around this town, really passionate people, bring something really cool on the market, and we can work and, you know, there we go.
Yeah, I remember when I first got here, it was in 2012. Paul Spicer of Grid Magazine, he's very big into mashups and bringing creatives together, and maybe you could do a 2 + 2 = 6. How did, for example, the Stella's thing happen, this legendary baklava Nightingale thing? These are like first series Garbage Pail Kids. They exist in mythology. I don't know if it actually happened. The Dravoses came to you and said, do it?
No, it's more simple than that, but I don't think we can talk about this. So I think Johnny Chavos, the owner, is born in La Gare du Midi, so the Midi station in Brussels. That's where he's born. So we are really close.
Who'd have thought?
But on the side of that is the best restaurant.
It's
for
my
wife.
favorite
It's her
restaurant.
favorite.
Stella's.
Yeah.
Stella's.
When they approached us, I was like, oh my God, it's so exciting.
Is it served there daily?
It's at all their grocery locations. So it's not at the restaurant. So they have Stella's Grocery on Lafayette, one in Scott's Addition, and then one in, I think it's right next to Pearlie's. It used to be Coleman's. And so they have the baklava flavor at all those 3 locations.
We used to say no. No, we don't want this. But no, she said yes.
Full disclosure, I'm Robin Farzad. If you're one of the many restaurants hearing your names plugged on this broadcast, feel free to send me sponsorship proceeds. I can actually, Robin at fulldradio.com. So you guys just got back. I said, could I come visit you yesterday at this huge commercial kitchen on the edge of the earth? It's a part of town called Manchester. It's massive.
Good soccer team.
It's massive, this factory. I walked in, it looked like a microchip foundry. Everybody's wearing hairnets and everything. It's not what I expected with, you know, the gregarious chefs slapping together sandwiches and, you know, Belgian fries being passed around.
Or Belgian beer.
Belgian beer. So you were marketing in New England yesterday, in upstate New York?
Lake George, New York.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Lake George, New York.
So how does this work? All right, we're talking about Chiacas, we're talking about Chris Sway, Javos, everything, and emanating out from kind of RVA Dine in Virginia. How do you end up, Hannah, talk to me about it, upstate New York and Boston?
One huge step for us was PFG, which is Performance Food Group. They're a food distributor, and they're one of the 3 largest food distributors in the country. And so when we first started 3 years ago, one of the sales reps that we used to buy from for the restaurants said that, well, they're looking for local products to distribute. And so we met with them, and they started to distribute in Richmond. And so we had just a great first year with PFG. And then as we started to grow into other states with PFG. And so they distribute our product now in, I think it's like 9 to 10 states. So we've been growing with PFG. So we have 6 or 7 different opcos that we're working with, and they buy from us and they just distribute to around the state.
Do you engage at the granular level, like descend into Faneuil Hall in Boston and work with a restaurant there, Sam Adams? I don't know. to kind of do the same thing that you pulled off in Richmond, or is that impossible to scale?
Well, for one thing that is exciting is there's, of course, a lot of local companies, and one local company that we're working with, we're actually leaving tonight after this, and we're driving up to Boston because there's a local company called Tasty Burger, and they're the official burger of the Red Sox, and they have bought a large amount of our sandwiches to sell at Boston Calling, which is a music festival on the Harvard campus, and we're gonna go up there and help just sell the ice cream sandwiches and promote. But I think that's another thing too that's so important. It's not just local here. We want to connect with these companies in all the different states.
Connect with the restaurants, the individual restaurateurs, or is that something that the restaurant distributors taking care of on your behalf? Like, what is it, lead generation?
There's some that are like that, but there's a lot that, too, we want to maintain this relationship that we have. You know, we are still so hands-on, and we are the spokespersons for our company. And so we just are as hands-on as possible.
So again, how many employees do you have right now?
9.
How many sandwiches can that provision? You're still slapping them together by hand, yes?
Well, not slapping, but
I saw you over there.
How many can you, no, suppose, I don't know, let's say Chick-fil-A or In-N-Out Burger comes to you. Like, I want to get to the nitty-gritty of this. Yes, you know, we talked about old empires. Like, in every Iranian, they say there's a Persian emperor looking to get out. And in the old, I don't know, Belgian empire, for what it's worth. No, we don't want to go there.
I'm not really proud about that.
No, but you were saying that you are ambitious. You're willing to do this. You're willing to leave this thing, probably tipsy on some great bourbon, and drive another 9 hours to Boston. You just came back from a 9-hour trip to Boston, right, to take on that incremental client. But what do you have to do on the labor end of it? You're going to have to scale up on this side. I can't get my head around that.
One thing I would say, and it's not just because they're here, we have a great team. And like we've built up a great team of people that
don't cry.
Well, I'm just saying
sometimes she'd be emotional.
It took a long time to find, but like we have a great team that we can leave and do these things and travel and promote this company because we know that it's being taken care of.
But does 9 people scale into, suppose an order comes in, we want 20,000 sandwiches a week?
Well, so
do you even want that at this point?
We have plans for next year. We're building another facility that we can do 8 times what we're doing now. So like that's our plan for next year. And that's in one shift, we can do 8 times what we're doing now. And it's a lot based on our staff, but also just another like key pieces of equipment that we have, will invest in, that can help with the process, but also that will keep the quality always. That's the most important thing.
How much of this is going to involve automation?
What, money?
Well, there's, like I said, there's just like a couple key pieces of equipment that is going to help us speed up, but also keep the quality. So there's things that we can put into place that, it doesn't require as much labor, but there's no effect to that sandwich.
It's no way that we're gonna start to do a factory. We discuss on that, so we can have help buy some machine for the packaging and stuff like that. But we're gonna continue to do everything by hand.
Full disclosure, I'm Robin Farzad. We are at the University of Richmond's Robin School of Business talking to the lovely couple behind Nightingale's hit ice cream sandwiches, Hannah Pollock and Xavier Mears. They've been at it now for what, 3.5 years?
Yes.
Could we talk about broader trends in consumer packaged goods right now? Everything I hear, every pitch we get, it's about winnow down the number of ingredients you have. There's you've seen big companies like Heinz, Kraft, and others have a lot of difficulty because the smaller artisanal players that, if you look at Kind bars or a handful of these things, you see RX bars, they might have 5 ingredients on it. You're up against 2 forces here. You're being asked to mass produce and provision, at least the Eastern Seaboard. I've heard from chefs in New York that want your ice cream bars. But you also want to stay true to this tradition of the Greenleaf ice cream room and knowing the ingredients in kind of your brownie wafers. How do you jive the two?
Well, I mean, I think there's always things that you have to take into consideration. So we always, for as many ingredients as possible, we use local. So we use Blanchard's coffee for our espresso. For our cream, we use, I can't say right now because we'll like announce it on our social media, but we have a really exciting local collaborator for our cream. But as much as possible, we still use local ingredients. But there's also concessions that need to be made as you grow as well. You know, as you grow, you have to take into consideration how many hands that it goes through to get to the end user. And so we really try to balance that to make sure we still keep the quality, but we also can get it to as many people as possible.
Have you explored non-dairy ice cream or some of the other trends, gluten-free? Have you been pulled into these other categories?
Do you want me to answer that?
You go ahead.
So, like from restaurant business, I mean, no dairy, no. I love when it's a real stuff. So, what we do the best is making ice cream right now. I want the best ice cream in the world, with the most calorie possible, with the most sugar as possible. Please, thank you. I mean, please stop. So I think when people go and eat something good, it's passionate people. We are passionate about what we do. We want the best for the customers or for us. So no, we want the best.
Are you allowed to get into any overtures from bigger consumer packaged goods companies? Because those are the growth areas. Like if you saw one of our former sponsor of the show, Health Warrior, was acquired by PepsiCo. These companies, existentially, the big multinationals, you could look at breweries, for example. Well, you're shuddering while I say this.
Big companies? We are afraid of big companies. I'm afraid. She don't care. She want to see the money come in. I want to choose my new car. No, she's really not like
She had to sell her car to start this. I mean,
that's true. And it was a piece of crap, really. So no. I mean, working with big companies. I mean, if we can change a little bit of the world, we're gonna do it.
Yeah, but you could change the world under a Unilever, under a Kraft.
No. I think
they need you.
Yeah, the thing that's most important to us is it's the two of us. I mean, we don't.
Two of us, our company, make sure we bring a beautiful produce, and work with all the best people, is passionate like us about what they do. That's it. This is the most important for us, right?
You Nightingale-tailed right into my next question. Is Pat Benatar, hopefully a future guest of this show. She famously said, "Love is a battlefield." And I love my wife. She's here in attendance today. But I can't imagine running a business with her and seeing her in the trenches. Like, you guys are out in Siberia, in Manchester. No offense. Have you ever been over there? Like, is that even 804? Is it on a septic tank? I don't know. But, like, you have to see a lot of each. It's pretty desolate. I came in, I visited you. There's, like, a factory and you only have, like, each other and a Wi-Fi signal and a bunch of employees in hairnets. How do you keep the je ne sais quoi, the joie de vivre, the lust for life? How do you keep it going? There was you chuckle at each other, you still laugh at each other, and you have to work with each other.
Because she's funny. You have to listen sometimes. Trust me, she's funny.
Yeah. I think it's just, I don't know. I think that's what's special about it is us together. I think we always have been our best.
I think we never ask any question. Yeah. We never go look back or something like that. We have that project. So, for be honest, when we stopped the restaurant business, we don't have any money, like what, three and a half years ago? No mas, what we gonna do? So we do it. We put all the money that we have on what we believe more. And that's what we believe in. And we're doing some awesome job. And now we are here today. Thanks for us. But we're never going to forget this time.
So looking back and looking ahead in the 10 or 15 minutes we have left, if you were to give advice, you know, we'll come back here hopefully during the school year if I could be presumptuous, but when MBAs and entrepreneurs-to-be are asking you advice or people seek you out now, other people who want to be mentored in consumer packaged goods, what is the advice that you would give back to yourself at Greenleaf Pool Room and to budding people out there? I mean, what is the one thing that moved the needle more than anything else, Hannah?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of things. I would think one thing is to believe in your product and yourself. And there's a lot of people, especially as you grow, that are going to give you advice. But really be true to what you believe in and your product. There's so many people that have told us you need to do this, you need to do that. We'll give you this, but like we have always stuck to what we believe in. And that's just making the best ice cream sandwiches that we can. And I think that's really important too. There's always going to be people out there who tell you
what to do.
She
loved it. She loved it. I'm going to tell you what to do. She loved it.
But no one knows your business and no one knows your product like you know. There's so many things out there. Well, we've done this before, we've done that before, but this is something that's new, and you need to listen to good advice, but always keep true to the path, I think, that you believe in.
Are there people, either counterparties, suppliers, vendors, customers, when you go on these road trips that are willing to kind of pull out a checkbook? I don't know if the story is apocryphal, but Bill Gates tried an Impossible Burger and said, "What do you want?" Right? Are you seeking investors? Are people making overtures to you to invest in the company at kind of a pre-money?
Well, I mean, we've had a lot of people that have wanted to invest in Nightingale. But for us, I think the thing is, if it brings value to the company. There's a lot of people that can just give you checks, but it doesn't bring value to the company and help us grow. I think that's something that's really important to us, is to work with people who have that end goal in mind of where we want to go as a company.
What brings value at this point? Is it capital? Is it equipment? Is it labor? Is it distribution? At this point, you're kind of at the hockey stick moment.
I think the only thing that matters for us is continue to create some cool ice cream sandwich. You have an article 2 years ago, we won the best made in Virginia on one thing, and these people said, you bring something old school, cool again. I love that thing. The only thing that matters for us is to make sure then we have some good products.
Are you making a living? Do you mind my asking?
Well, yeah, I mean, we do. I mean, yes.
What, we're living with that?
Yes.
I thought it was my credit. I don't have a good credit. I'm an immigrant. So.
Are we allowed to ask those questions? I mean, at what point you could pay yourselves at this point? Is it still a zero something like, honey, we could take money out of the business, we could take distributions, or we could plow it back into human capital or physical capital, or you're in a great commercial kitchen right now, but at some point you're gonna...
We spend a lot of money. Tomorrow we're going to the Holiday Inn.
Holiday Inn?
In Boston, yeah. We're gonna go to the Holiday Inn for 3 days. Yeah, we are a little crazy. We're working on what we do.
What's going on at the Holiday Inn, if you don't mind me asking?
The coffee is awesome. And what else? The service is great too.
Breakfast is good too.
Breakfast.
Yeah, that's my favorite part.
Pretty cool. So now it's a new life for us. We're going on the road all the time. So we have to deal with that road. Hotel room is cool.
Did you buy a special truck? I heard.
We did. We just bought a truck.
So what was involved here? How did you calculate that? Like, we need this. You're driving it up to Boston. It has a freezer in it.
Well, we're not driving it to Boston. We just bought.
And I'm kind of sad about that.
Yeah, a 22-foot reefer truck, which means it's a refrigerated truck, so it goes down to below zero. It's frozen, and the way our production works, we use a cold storage facility, and we take loads over there, and our distributor picks up from there. And so it just came to a point where it made more sense for us to buy our own truck versus renting their truck.
And it's kind of fun.
Yeah, and he drives.
Do you have a truck?
No, I have a Camry, a four-door Camry. I have 2 enormous booster seats in it.
You should own a truck. It's really fun.
He loves to drive it.
Yeah, I love it. It's my new toy.
Talk to us about where you're going to be next. How far west do you go, for example? Are you largely now you're Mid-Atlantic. You're talking to me about New England. You're talking to me about the preferred burger vendor at the Red Sox facility. What if the Red Sox come to you and say, make the championship ice cream sandwich?
Let's do it. That's the first thing that we think. Let's do it. Let's do something special.
But I've pushed you on this. Is how do you guys spread yourselves like that? You don't have like a partner associate model where you could send little Xavier mini-me's up to Boston and other parts of the country. You have to get on a truck yourself, and the opportunity cost of that is you're not here churning out product. They're 2 people not whipping together product.
But that's just like I was saying, our team, like our production runs without us. And so we can go and sell and do what we need to do, and we can add in what is needed, and our production runs very well without us being there. And so that's something that's so
She's
so
kind
important.
of nervous about that.
I mean, I've always
because
been
it's not easy, and we are really, really happy to build a strong team, because restaurant people knows, or it's not easy to build a team, a worker, and these people follow us for a couple of times now, and we are really happy about that.
Whatever you can tell us to break news, in the few minutes we have left, what can we expect from you? You have so many mashups that appear. I see them on social media. It's kind of crazy. You did something with Sugar Shack, right? Was it like a blueberry donut?
That was 5 years ago, no?
It was a
We don't
couple years
exist.
ago.
What's coming next? Like, where will you stop? Michelle Williams is here tonight, and I joke with her. I said, what if she came to you and said, like, I'm going to give you a poke bowl from West Coast
Did we
Provisions.
going to work together?
Oh, green tea, but she's not going to mix poke into your ice cream. Like, where do you draw the line and say,
We
I don't
we
think
don't
there's
have
a
any
line.
We don't have any line. Every single business from Richmond, we love to work with everyone. Some people, what?
Bacon ice cream.
Oh,
We've
we
done
do
that
it that for
before,
lunch and
yeah.
supper.
So for lunch and supper, you have a bacon ice cream sandwich.
Yeah. I'm super excited because next week, when I'm come back, we're going to do a special release with a reservoir. So what you're going to have tonight is just a treat.
Yeah, tell us the backstory of the reservoir mashup we have here.
I think we know each other for a little while. Do you want to say the story, Jay?
Well, go ahead, you tell the story. No, you got to tell it.
So what is funny, 7 years ago? 7 years ago, I used to ride my Harley Davidson because
Harley Davidson?
Harley Davidson. We are in the United States, so I buy a big bike. And right on the front of Jay's house, my bike broke down. I knock at the door. I said, "Hey, bud, can I leave my bike here, buddy, please?" And he said, "Yep." That's what he said. Yes, no problem. So I came back 3 days after. I give a gift card for Bellevue, a lot of stuff, and I don't know. And I didn't know he was the owner of Reservoir Whiskey Distillery. And I think we have that conversation like 2 months ago. And like, oh my God. We do some good stuff together.
And you tried his bourbon?
That's my big problem. So when I try his bourbon, your bourbon, next week we're gonna release something special than we have more than here tonight. We're gonna do a special ice cream sandwich with the bourbon distillery.
So could you walk me through how
orange.
the kind of macerated cherry thing happened? Like you can't really you can't get the full alcohol taste, but you can get an infusion from the barrels that are
The
used.
infusion from the
Tell me
barrel,
how you
the
come up with
woods.
this. Do you sit around and spitball, like if somebody brings you a beer and
That's
you
the
try
thing.
like a Hardywood Peach Triple or
I
something?
think
What do you do?
that's everybody love to cook, love to do something like that. Everybody love do some pairing, love something like that.
So you're releasing a special ice cream sandwich tonight with Reservoir. Tell us how you came up with the cherries. Tell us how.
That was all him.
What was the iteration? Like, did
It was.
you mix a bunch of things like honey try this, honey try this? Did you have a bunch of people over? How
No,
does that even work?
This guy makes such an awesome product. Then I just like, bingo, that's what we're gonna do. So when I try the whiskey, and I use the bourbon barrel that he used, and I macerate the cherry on that.
Macerate sounds medieval. What does it mean exactly?
Medieval. Yeah. Welcome to my country. So, medieval means...
Not medieval, macerate, please.
Macerated. So, I use all the cherry and leave the cherry for like 1 or 2 days on the barrel with the woods. And after that, I make my own jam. And with the jam, we turn that with an ice cream. I mean, my wonderful team over there, because you are not there, my wonderful team over there turned that to an ice cream. And all the cherry was soaked of all the flavor.
But what I want to see is, so is your team in Manchester, like, are you putting these samples out and trying it? Like, how are you putting it out to vote? Like, this doesn't work, this doesn't work. How does that happen? What does the skunk works like?
All their opinions on it for sure. Yeah, just like.
Not all of it, huh?
But we try, like we're trying our new summer flavors, and we make a test and see, what everybody thinks, if we should adjust this or adjust that, because I think it's good to get more than just our opinions on it and see what just everybody thinks about it.
Have any batches been particularly catastrophic, like the McDLT of Nightingale ice cream sandwiches? Have you had to kind of say, you know what, honey, that works for you, it didn't work for anyone else?
I don't think so.
I mean, it's ice cream.
Go ahead, say it. Your turn.
We're very particular about what the flavor is and that it comes across very well. So we don't want to just throw stuff in there and say, well, it's good, and give it out to everybody.
How does it work at a retail level? Because I see you get all of these different pings on Instagram and other places. Oh, will you make this? Will you whip this up? Will you mash this up with it? Do you take, your fan base is out there. I was introduced to the sandwiches from a friend who was pregnant at the time and was hoarding them on the shelves of Libby Market. The sandwich was called the Fat Elvis. Back then, it's now called the Fat Banana for reasons of deference or copyright. I don't know. But she was like, her friends, like...
I should shut up on this one.
So people would see that the market had it, and you could ask Sam Dorch, the owner. People would just come and rip them off the shelves. And at that point, so are people coming to you with ideas and saying, do this, try this?
A lot more now than it used to be.
What are some of the funky ones you're getting?
I think a lot, let's see. A couple things is the flavors that we've done in the past that we're not doing anymore. So they want us to bring those back.
Like which ones?
The blueberry donut.
Yeah, the blueberry donut and the
Sugar Shack blueberry donut?
Yeah. And the key lime pie. But it's just like a select few, and we just can't bring it back unless it sells really well and people love it and it flies off the shelves. So like this summer, we're going to do something different than we did last summer because we want something different for everybody to try versus bringing something back that everybody might not love.
If you were to create a bespoke ice cream sandwich for me, in full disclosure, let's call it the Persian version.
A pervert version?
The pervert version? No, the Persian version. What would be...
Hello?
What would be in it? Like if I were to come to you like, hey, I'm having a big bash. My show turns 5, wink, wink, on June 6th. I want to commission a personally stamped ice cream sandwich. What would be in it? How would you brainstorm with me?
Oh, I don't want to think anymore.
I think some like spices, like maybe like ginger and cardamom and something like that. Like a spicy one with a little kick to it.
Jalapenos.
Yeah.
Jalapenos in a Persian ice cream sandwich. Good.
It's kind of a foodie one,
Close us out. Give us some projections. If I were to bring you on stage 5 years hence, and I actually taking a flyer on this because I think you're going to hear about this as one of the next great consumer packaged brands, and it's really putting Richmond on the map, and it's going to be heard about. And I know people are pining for you in Dixie, here in Miami, my hometown, or people are asking for you where PFG has some tentacles. Walk us through what we're going to see from you, and if I'm talking to you in 5 years, what you're going to be looking back at this interview and say, can you believe we only did 15,000 sandwiches a week?
I think
15,000, that's nothing for her. Trust me, she's already over there.
I think our goal is to get our ice cream sandwiches into as many hands as possible across the country. So whatever that might entail, distribution-wise, but that's our goal, is to make Nightingale a brand that's recognized not just in Richmond, but across the country.
And can you do it now organically? I mean, not organically, but without any outside investors, without any capital infusions? Can you just grow into this dream?
Well, I think just the way that we've always done it is step by step, just us together. And of course, we need advice from people that have been in this world longer than we have. And we know that we can't
Every
do it.
single day it's a challenge for us.
And we're always
because we're
learning.
not growing a restaurant anymore. Everything is very challenging. We put a step somewhere when we don't know what's going on. Like, everybody loves to have our produce. What do we have the choice? Do you want to go in these big guys? Do you want to do? No, we would love, and we continue to follow what we love to do. What we love to do, I think, it's grow this company, of course, but make sure the Nightingale is the best ice cream sandwich right now, and put all the all the quality that we love to do on it.
As long as we keep the quality, I think
that's the only thing that matters for
Yeah.
us. I think. We think.
we don't want to grow too fast and lose the quality of what we do. We'd rather go step by step and always just maintain that ice cream sandwich that everybody
We try
loves.
to keep simple, but it's not.
Close us out, because we are at the Robbins School of Business. One piece of advice to budding entrepreneurs, restaurant people in their 20s. You see all these memes about what I would tell myself at age 21. What would you tell yourself?
Give some advice. Oops.
Well, I would say, just like I said, be true to yourself and your business and your product, and don't let anybody sway you from that. You know what is good, and you know what you have. And don't let all these people that are going to come in from the sides and tell you what to do.
Believe on your products.
Yeah.
Believe on you. That's. I think it's really tough.
But don't they tell you on Shark Tank, don't believe in yourself too much? Like, you
Shark Tank. Shark Tank. That's awful name. Shark Tank. We don't want that.
Last words. Last words, Xavier. Close us out.
Tell me.
You tell me.
Just believe on yourself. We do that not for fun. We strongly believe on what we do, and it works. And we are really excited to create every single week and have a lot of partnership with a lot of people all the time. We are really blessed and really happy of what we do.
You were listening to Xavier Mears. He was joined by his wife, Hannah Pollock. They are co-founders of the hit startup Nightingale Ice Cream Sandwiches. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Full disclosure, our executive producer tonight is Hunter Hopcroft. Our engineers are John Valentine and Micah Berry. Huge thank you to Joe Wolf and his team at U of R Catering. He totally saved our macerated cherries this week. Thank you to Andy Miner, Nicole Hansen, Liz Bueller in the events office, Bueller. And a huge mazel tov to Dean Nancy Bagranoff. She's finishing her 9th year here. She's about to leave the dean slot. This place, I don't know what existed here before you got here, but now it's so meticulous that they shampoo the squirrels. Thank you, Dean. We are macerated, emulsified, 14% butterfat content, locally inclusive but globally effusive. Liberté, égalité, go have ice cream and whiskey. I'm Robin Farzad, back with you next week.